Good afternoon and welcome to the Rotary Club of America. Well, this is usually on when I stand up here, so welcome to the Rotary Club of America. It's a great day to be in Rotary and in Rotarian. I'd like to welcome all of our visiting Rotarians and visitors. If you would, please silence your phones. And we'll start with Janice singing the song. Thank you, Janice.
Whoa, look at all these people. So now, since you've come to this meeting, you are now honorary members of the Rotary Club of Bearden Choir. So you are required to come every Friday and sing with us. Nobody said no. All right. So we're going to sing You're a Grand Old Flag. And remember, the pitch I give you is the one we go ba-ba-bum. So here we go. This is the pitch. Ready? Ready? You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true under red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brag. But should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag. Thank you.
Thank you, Janice. Sam has her pledge.
My face the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Sam. And Joe, if you'll lead us in the invocation.
Let's bow our heads. God, we come to you today, and the first thing we want to do is give praise for the awesome crowd that we have here today, and the opportunity you give us every week to have fellowship with such a great bunch of people. Those members that go out each week and do events and charities that try to do your work in our neighborhoods and our communities. And we pray, God, that you bless our new leadership as they perform their duties to help see that these events and charities are fulfilled. We pray that you bless the people at Buddy's Barbecue that each week provide us with amazing food. We pray that you bless that food, that it gives us the nourishment that we need to go out and do your work in our community and our neighborhoods. In Jesus' name we pray all these things. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Joe. And Ray, come up and introduce our many visitors. Yes.
All righty, we got two visiting Rotarians from Farragut, Sam and Roger. I think you're set together. Good to have you. And then guest, Joe brought his son Charlie today. And then Bruce has got April. Good to have you, April.
April McMill's Direct Support Services for the Boy Scouts of America.
Welcome.
Thank you, Ray. Pack the Park is right around the corner. There's flyers on your table, and this is Smokies baseball game where Rotarians buy tickets, and a donation is made to polio eradication. So $6.50 out of each ticket goes to polio. And if you don't have your ticket, Rosa and Jeff will help you with your tickets. And we've had several Rotarians purchase tickets, but they won't be using their tickets. They're donating those tickets our inter-city scouting program to take scouts to the ball game. So get your tickets. The game is August the 6th, so it's just a little over a week from now. It's always a fun time for us. Next, I'd like to bring up Jim Burns. He's going to talk about the ball boards. Was it 36 days till the first ball game or something? So.
Feels like it just ended.
All right, it's that time again. Thought I'd get started early. I'm glad I did since we got a good crowd. Very quickly, I'll go through this again for those of you that are newer. We do ball board. This is a fundraiser for the club. For the football games, I think everybody knows how the ball boards work with the numbers. If you don't, let me know. There's a second page here that has the rules. And then the last page here is we give away football tickets to the games for some of the games, not all of them. Some are football game prizes, some are cash prizes. So those rules are there. Just sign your name. But it's $30 per square for the whole season. There's 15 games. There's the 12 regular season Tennessee games, the SEC Championship, the Tennessee Bowl game, and then the National Championship game. And we pay out halftime and we pay out the final. You win $40 for the half, $60 for the final, or you win 2 tickets to the Vols game for those games that we give them away. Write your name in a square, write it legibly so I can read it. That seems to always be a problem every year. Any questions? We raise, when you factor the tickets, if you don't count the tickets, we raise about $2,100 with this, and it goes to the general fund, right? So it's a nice little fundraiser we've been doing for 14, 15 years now. So we'll pass it around. Jean has already got her squares, so if you want to get near her. We do have the Jean Barrett Award at the end of the year. It's whoever wins the most times over the course of the year. I think she's going to do well this year. So anyways, I'll pass it around. If you have any questions, let me know.
And you don't need to limit yourself to 1 square, right, Jim?
That's correct, yeah. I think we usually say 4, kind of limit yourself to 4 for now. If we get toward the end and need to fill out more boxes, I may come to you for more, but 4 for now.
All right, next, Doug, if you'll come forward and fill us in on Bearden Rotary Topgolf.
Topgolf. Thank you, sir. So on your tables, there's a flyer. This is also a fundraiser for the club this year. We're going to go to Topgolf on Thursday, September 19th from noon to 3. If you've never been to Topgolf, it's a glorified driving range, right? So for the top golfers in this club, we want you to be there. But if you've never picked up a golf club, you can also come and participate. So we'll have lunch, prizes. Registration form is on the back. You'll be a sponsor. Teams are 6 people. You'll be an individual. The goal is to get 10 to 12 teams. You can fill this out, get it back to me, and then we'll prepare accordingly. If you have any questions, let me know.
Is that in place of our meeting on Friday? We'll be doing it on Thursday?
This is Thursday.
I know. Will
Yeah.
we be doing that instead of a meeting on that Friday?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, this is separate.
Okay.
But that's not a bad idea, though.
Well, other clubs do it that way. I was just curious.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can discuss it. As of right now, no.
Okay.
All right, any other questions?
She wants to sing. I think everybody's singing.
We can sing, though.
I think Janice just made a motion, but we'll take it to the board. Any other announcements from any of our committees before we move on? Yes, Janice? Yes, I skipped over Mobile. Sorry about that.
So today I was Bruce, and I announced to everyone that he was not going to be delivering meals until July 1st, 2025, because he is now president of the Rotary Club of Bearden, so he's taking a leave of absence. And so I'm the message bearer. Ray, they want to know when the curly-haired man will come back and deliver their meals because they enjoy seeing you, number one. Kelly's not here, but apparently she got a recipe for green beans. She'd never cooked green beans before. And one of the mobile meals people that we delivered to gave her a recipe. So they want to know if she's cooked any more green beans. And I was told to say, hello, handsome, to you. If you would like to be a member of the deliverer of mobile meals, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Janice. Yes, Paul?
I want to bring up a couple things from the finance side. I forgot to bring the wrap up for the year end. They're sitting at the printer at work, so I'm going to send out an email to everybody this afternoon through emails. So if we have your address in the system, you'll receive those reports electronically. If you want some hard copy, just get a hold of me. I can bring those. And the other thing, last week when Governor Rob was here, we talked about giving something in his honor or for his favorite, where he wanted to support Rotary. It's something we do every year. It's $500 every year. Rob, in the past, we've been doing it to the James Bomar Scholarship Fund. He told me that that fund is well funded at this point. So he wants to go to just to make a general donation to the annual fund, which then will allow us to get some money back in a few years. So that's where he wants his stuff to go this year. Just want to bring up to speed on that.
Thank you, Paul.
Yep.
Yes, Gordon?
Just to follow up with Paul, one of our speakers we've had, Todd Kelly Jr., Paul and I are working on nominating him for the under 40 Knoxville class. There's nobody that I can think would be more deserving than Todd Kelly Jr. and what he's done with the TK24 football camp he does for the youth. I've helped volunteer this year for him, and he's definitely well deserving of that award that Paul and I are working on.
So the club would be sponsoring him?
He's an individual, but
Yeah.
he knows it's coming from Rotary.
Okay.
He already knows.
Thank you for doing that.
Yep.
All right, now it's my pleasure to bring Dick Hinton forward, and we have a new member inductions.
Thank you, Bruce. Whoa. We're going to have our membership today. We have 2 new members we're going to get to induct. I'd like to have them come to the front. It's my privilege to welcome into membership today Mark Morrell and Mike Childers. Coming up front. And I want your proposers up here with them. Stand right with them. That's Jim Burns and Joe. Good, there we go. You are to share in this effort. You've been approved for membership in this club because we believe you to be a worthy representative of your vocation, interested in the ideals of Rotary, and willing to do your share in translating these ideals into tangible realities. You've agreed to accept the obligations attached to your membership in the club and obey the club's constitution and bylaws. Now, I have the pleasure of asking your proposers to pin on the Rotary emblem, and be painless, please, which we hope you will wear daily with pride. While you're pinning that, painlessly, no. The first Rotary pins were wagon wheels that later changed to a gear wheel with 24 cogs and 6 spokes. There'll be a quiz on all of this. How many cogs? Anyway, 6, that good going, 6 spokes. But a group of engineers advised that it was mechanically unsound and wouldn't work without a keyway in the center to attach to it a power shaft to turn it. So the keyway was added. You are now a part of the kingpin that attaches to the keyway to keep the gears turning. So, welcome to the Rotary Club of Bearden. Fellow Rotarians, I'm happy to present to you Rotarians Mark Morrell and Mike Childers as your newest members. I'd like to ask each of you to say just a word about yourself and why you're interested in Rotary, why you want to join Rotary. Don't fight over it, either one, guys.
I'm Mike Childress. I'm a native of Knoxville, Tennessee. Have family that goes back to the 1800s in the Concord area, we now know as Farragut. After I graduated from Farragut High School, after I went off to college, graduated, coached college football, came back, me and my wife made a home in the Bearden area. Our kids have all gone to Bearden Middle, Rock Hill Elementary, West High, and we have, over the past 20 years, been a part of the Bearden community, and I look forward to deepening our ties even more through Bearden Rotary and becoming a member here and helping and providing service. So thank you.
Hey everybody, my name is Mark Morrell. I'm from Tri-Cities. I grew up in Bristol, went to Tennessee High, ended up at ETSU, moved here in about 1990, and have been in business and sales and different capacities, mainly in telecommunications. I appreciate Jim sponsoring me and bringing me in. Once I got to the group, I realized there were several people I've kind of known over the years. But I've got a wife and 3 children, 2 of which have graduated from Bearden High School, one getting ready to start college golf at UT Martin, one that just finished up at UT Martin, and I have a daughter that's going to be a sophomore in high school. So I like the service aspect of the Rotary Club and what you guys do, and wanted to get involved in some service type things. So I really appreciate it and look forward to being part of the group.
Glad to have each of you as new members. Now let me give each of you kind of a warning. At the end of our meetings, we finish with a 4-way test. You may have noticed that. I'm going to be asking one of you at the end of the meeting to lead us in the 4-way tests. So you both may want to be ready. It's going to
Hey Mike, you don't have to sit next to Jeff anymore.
Thank you, Dick, and welcome Mark and Mike. Now we'll have David come and introduce our speakers for today.
I saw on our table a few weeks ago that who we give money to, and Dream Connection was one of them, and I wasn't as familiar, and I don't know the last time they presented, so I reached out to them. That's why they're here. Mr. Farrell Levy and Don Marsh are both their speakers. We have 2 presenters today. I'll try to run through it real quick. Mr. Levy graduated with honors from the University of Tennessee with a degree in marketing and received his law degree from the University of Tennessee as well. He's been practicing for more than 30 years. He's one of the big guys in town. He's a well-respected lawyer, what have you, and reflected by him winning 2020 Lawyer of the Year by his peers, as well as Knoxville City View a billion times in various categories. He is a member of the Farragut Rotary Club and a multiple Paul Harris Fellow. For many years, he served as the chairman of the Rotary Foundation Committee for his club. His community activities include serving as founding board member of the Dream Connection, as well as serving as president and treasurer previously for them. He has served 2 terms as president of Fox Den Country Club as well. He's been a licensed pilot since as long as I've been alive, 1976. And he and his wife Laura have 2 daughters. And then Dawn has a good one as well. Dawn Marsh is an East Tennessee native and grew up in Maryville. She graduated from the University of Tennessee with a Bachelor of Science in Journalism and Public Relations. She had an internship at the Children's Hospital that turned into a job as being their public relations person. She has a great honor of showing Children's Hospital and describing their mission to so many people, including politicians, physicians, and other states, and some dignitaries as well. The 3 that she remembers vividly are, and we're going to see who knows who, John Schneider. What actor? What's he called? Dukes of Hazzard. There you go. Actor Alan Hale. Gilligan, yeah, the skipper. All right. And this one is just for Charlie. Let's see how Charlie does on this. What? Ronald Reagan.
Never heard of that guy.
I was just curious. It was a big deal for the rest of us. You were born after he was there, so just curious if you might know. I'm always fascinated what my kids know and don't know. And I put you on the spot there, too. You do Grand Old Flag, though. There you go. She was most honored to have been one of the 6 people at Children's that established the Children's Miracle Telethon, as well as the Fantasy of Trees, which is a huge tradition in Knoxville. Please join me in welcoming them.
David, thanks for the nice introduction, and Mike and Mark, congratulations on being a member of the Rotary. You know, she graduated from the College of Communications. My daughter graduated from the College of Communications at UT in 1997. We went to the ceremony at the Communications College, And the dean was speaking, and he said, in 1997, the average starting salary for graduates of the Communications College at the University of Tennessee was $750,000. And everybody says, what? He said, oh, by the way, Peyton Manning graduated in that class. So we're here to talk about the Dream Connection. I know from looking at the crowd, we have some supporters of the Dream Connection, people that have been active in the Dream Connection and also donated to the Dream Connection, and we appreciate it. Our mission is pretty simple. We fulfill dreams of children who have life-threatening illnesses or chronic debilitating illnesses from the ages of 3 to 18 in the Knox County area. Our service area is basically the 16 counties around Knox County, and sometimes we'll also do a dream for a child not from that area that's receiving treatment in one of the local hospitals, typically East Tennessee Children's Hospital. Sometimes we do a dream for them. It needs to be done at the hospital, and we will do that. Our dreams not only impact the child, they impact the whole family. The whole family is going through a terrible situation. Here's what one mother said: I will forever be grateful to the Dream Connection. In 2007, they gave my daughter a dream. It would be the last time our family was together away from hospital life before she passed. What they gave us is irreplaceable time. The peace of holding my daughter in a place not surrounded by tubes was simply beautiful. For my mom, thank you for all we do. Our goal is a pretty simple one. It's to fulfill the dream of the child, not the parents, but the child. And we have been doing this since 1985, and the Dream Connection is a little bit different than most charities. We're all volunteer run. We have no paid staff, we have no office space, and we have minimal administrative expenses. What administrative expenses we do have are now funded by the law office of Marcos Garza. So money that comes in to the Dream Connection goes to the dreams of the children. It's not paid for high salaries or expensive office spaces. The Dream Connection was founded in 1985 by Don's father, B.J. Price, and I'm going to let her tell you about that and some of the dreams we've done.
Well, there's something special about a daddy-daughter relationship. So I was the first one to ever go to college and graduate from college on either side of my family. And I just remember my dad said, don't screw it up, you got 4 years and you got to go to work. And so I did. The one thing is I got an internship at Children's that turned into a job. And I ran to Daddy when I was seeing all these sick kids. Some would get well, some wouldn't. I really had a hard time with that and my faith. Why would God allow this? These kids didn't do anything. And it really touched him. And he's like, well, I work for the telephone company, not quite sure what I can do, but we'll figure something out. So he came to me about 6 months later and said, I want to do a dream granting entity. I have no idea how to get that started. Again, telephone guy. Can you help me? So the folks at Children's Hospital and some volunteers, including Farrell, that Daddy was scared to death to go see because it was the first attorney he ever had to go meet with. So we had to do the charter for the state. But Dad just really wanted to help these kids have a good experience, whether they survived or didn't, but also for that family, because he said, I can't imagine, I've got 2 kids, and if either one of you guys were sick, I was sick. So that was why Daddy wanted to do it. He wanted every cent to go to the dream. He absorbed and others absorbed some of the overhead. I remember the post office box was $55 a year in 1984 when he was starting to put this together. But we had a physician, Dr. Lumpkin at Children's Hospital, that was on the board for us. Farrell, UT Hospital, George Dobler, who was the Reverend there, he was with us, and we just all gathered around each other, and WBIR was the first one to really start helping us get some publicity. Our first fundraiser, I believe, was in the basement of WIVK as a radiothon, and our goal was to raise $1,500, best of my notes that I had from Daddy's stuff, and WIVK says you got 2 hours. Well, we had $1,500 in like 15 minutes, and we thought, okay, we've got the stuff for the dream, we can go. And they're like, no, keep going, keep going. So we're all in the basement of WIVK, answering phones. Daddy's bringing in more phones and more telephone people to hook up more phones, and we ended up, Farrell, do you recall how much we ended up with? I think it was 16.
Near 20,000.
Yeah, 16 to 20,000, that range, and we were all just floored. And the community really came to this and embraced it, and it just started flourishing. We got volunteers, we've got kids that want things all over the map. We've had kids that wanted to meet Peyton Manning, and he couldn't do it for this one child, but there was another child that wanted a go-kart. At that time, yes, we did go-karts, and Peyton showed up for that one to help him with the go-kart. We've had just all kinds of people that have helped with a lot of different things, and so we continue that mission. Hopefully we will go out of business because there'll no longer be children that will need dreams, but and we have a lot of fun putting them all together too. But Daddy was, like I said, just a telephone guy that wanted to do something to stop me from crying about what was going on at work, suck it up and deal with it, but number two, really take care of the children and their families. And so Farrell and lots of other folks, Tony Powers is a part of our group, and we sure do appreciate everybody that volunteers to help. So since 1985 when the charter was started until today, we've done how many dreams?
Over 1,000.
Yeah, 1,000. I do want to speak of one dream that my father did before we had the charter and everything approved, but Daddy did it on his own. There was a child whose daddy was a coal miner, and this child had 3 brothers, and one of the children, he had cancer, and he had neuroblastoma, which is a brain cancer, and he was at Children's more than he was at home, but he started getting tumors as the disease progressed all over his body, and he was very uncomfortable. And so we were testing this dream connection thing, how it was all going to work. And so I picked Jonathan, that let's see, and I talked to the family, and they said, yeah, let's see what he wants. And he wanted a waterbed. Now remember, this is like 1984, 85. I'm like, okay, he wants a waterbed. So we sat down and talked to him, and he said, I have so many tumors, and I am so uncomfortable to sleep in a regular bed. If I could just sleep in a waterbed and not hurt and get a night's sleep, it would be the best thing that I've ever had. So Dad says, well, we're going to get the man a waterbed. So he goes to the one waterbed place on Bearden Hill, and the man donated the waterbed for us. And so Dad and some of his friends from the telephone company drove up to Kentucky and found out that the little boy lived in a trailer. And so they had to reinforce the floor of the trailer because the waterbed was going to be too heavy. So they reinforced the floor of the waterbed, and Jonathan was loving that bed. He let his 2 other brothers in the bed. Then he wanted his mom and dad in the bed with him so they all could fit in the bed and sleep together and have a nice, comfortable sleep. Well, about 6 months later, Jonathan's mother called me, and she said, well, Jonathan had another slumber party in his waterbed last night, but he was very adamant that we all stay the entire night, because some of his brothers would get up and go to their own rooms. She said, but he was adamant about staying all night. She says, when we woke up the next morning, he had passed away. And she said that it was the best experience they'd ever had. And even the brothers still remember that to this day. I stay in touch with the family. And so that's why we do it. It's not easy, but he gave that family so much wonderful time together, and Jonathan didn't hurt for almost a year when he slept. So, Dream Connection, still making dreams come true, and we really support everything East Tennessee's done for us over the years. And my daddy's gone now, but I'm sure he is talking to Jonathan up in heaven right now. So, I think that's about it as far as how we started and one of the first dreams. Any questions?
I saw it. They had an article about Todd Helton in the paper. We got in the Hall of Fame, and he worked with a little kid, a child that wanted to practice with him on the Colorado Rockies ball field. And I think the family is also at the induction ceremony when he got inducted.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I want to say this, sometimes we take for granted just how giving the community is that we live in. I did charity or donations for Rotary just a couple months ago, and I think I spoke to 30 businesses in one day, and I think that I had 2 that had already donated to the limit, and I had 1 out of 30 that did not donate.
Wow.
And I mean, it was just amazing. And then when you take back the thank you cards that people will tell you, we were glad to give, and if you guys need anything else, come back and see us.
That's wonderful.
I mean, so the community is really, really blessed.
Yeah. Daddy was very adamant about that when he started the organization that every single cent went to the dreams. No overhead. We'll figure it out. God will find a way. And so when he was trying to start, before he got the charter and got to work with Farrell setting it up, he called Make-A-Wish because they had started in 1980. Daddy was looking at this in 82. And they said, you can buy a franchise for $35,000. He's like, yeah, I can't afford that. Wow. So it's a for-profit. Dad says the East Tennessee people, when they're donating, they want it to go to what the cause is, and that's what I always want it to do. And even when Daddy was passing away, he says, please just make sure you never have a paid organization. It's all volunteer ran. And so I just am so grateful and thankful for those that have continued Daddy's mission and helping the kids of East Tennessee. Yes, sir.
Can you give us an example of other dreams that you provided?
Yeah.
We have that.
We have that. Great segue. Thank you.
That's a plant right there. That one's
good question. By far, our most popular dream is trips to Disney World. We do several of those a year. That's been going on for a long time. We work closely with an organization at Disney World called Give Kids the World. And what they do is, for a fairly modest fee, they provide a condo for the family to stay in. They provide tickets to all the theme parks. They provide a rental car. And they have a condo resort that is unbelievable for the kids. And so it's a very worthy organization. It was started by a Holiday Inn franchisee like 40 years ago, and it's been very successful, and it's a godsend for us. Some of our dreams are Universal Studio, swimming with dolphins, magical cruise, new computers. This is one I delivered in like 1987.
That the guy with dark hair?
Yeah, the guy with dark hair. And I dug that out of our old files. We still do a lot of computers, not as many as we used to, but we still do those. We do a lot of shopping sprees where we'll take a child to the mall or their favorite store. We've done several campers over the years. We'll have a child who can't do much else, but he can go camping, and we have that request quite often. Ripley's Aquarium, we've done that. We've done several swimming pools. A lot of these children have handicaps. They can't do much physically, but they can swim, and they love swimming pools.
Do you partner with somebody in town for those?
Yes, and that changes over time. You just can't go to the same people and do it over and over again. We've had several pool vendors that have helped us. We've also had a lot of volunteer labor from organizations. This is our process when we get a dream. We get a referral usually from a healthcare provider such as East Tennessee Children's Hospital. The first thing we do is screen the child medically. We have a doctor that used to work, well, still works at Children's Hospital. We'll make sure the child has a qualifying disease. If the child does, then two dream captains are appointed, and they will go out and meet with the child and parents. And as I said earlier, it's our desire to fulfill the dream of the child. The dream must be appropriate for the child, his age, his family. If everything's lined up, then the board of directors will vote on it and approve it. And then it's up to the dream captains to fulfill that dream. Other board members or volunteers might help, but the dream captains are in charge of it. Sometimes we get challenging dreams, and those are primarily meeting celebrities. One of the worst was the New Kids on the Block. The volunteer in charge of these dreams ended up calling the New Kids from Hell. We ended up having 6 or 7 children and wanted to meet these children. We actually had referrals from Make-A-Wish and so forth, and with the help of a deputy sheriff that kind of pushed his way through, they got back to meet New Kids on the Block. And so it went well. We had Michael Jordan here. That was another difficult one. We couldn't get through to Michael Jordan. And again, we were able to get there to backstage, and he was very nice and polite. Most celebrities are cooperative. Jeff Gordon is one I remember years ago. What a great guy. He spent a lot of time with the kid, went out of his way. My all-time favorite dream was one involving Garth Brooks. We had a child that wanted to meet Garth Brooks. We got he and his family seats in the first or second row at the venue, and he got to meet Garth backstage. Garth's talking to the child, and he says, "So where are you sitting?" And the child says, "Well, second row." And he says, "That's not good enough. You're sitting stage right." And so Garth put him up on the stage right behind the curtains. The crowd couldn't see him, but this child was on the stage. Garth does his concert. He's getting ready to start his encore. He takes his guitar and signs it to the child. Garth Brooks hands him the guitar, picks up the backup guitar, and goes out on stage. It was really a neat dream. Another group that's been great is Maroon 5 with Adam Levine. We've had 3 or 4 children that wanted to meet this group. Some of them met him in Atlanta, and they treated the children so great, it was remarkable. Our funding. Our big fundraiser happens every year in the fall of the year. It's a gala we have with an auction, a dinner. Sanford is an auctioneer. And sitting here today, I got an email and from one of our board members, and it says, "I just heard from Deborah, another board member. Tony Vitale is a go. He's going to be at the gala this year speaking, and we're very, very pleased about that." One of our big supporters is the Chi Omega sorority on the UT campus. They have been involved with us for maybe 15 years. They usually raise about $30,000 or $40,000 a year. It's remarkable what they have done. They have a flag football tournament, other fundraisers, and not only they raise money, they help with the dreams. So it's been a really good relationship with them. We have other supporters, the variety of the Checkered Children's charities. And you may ask, how can I help? If you know a child that needs our services, refer the child to us. As I said, we have an auction coming up within our gala. If you have something would benefit in the auction, a vacation home for a week, opportunities, gift certificates, or coming to the auction dinner, we would appreciate it. If you all have any more questions, Don and I will try and answer them. So, well, thank you for having us, and thank you for your past support, the club and the members that have supported us here. And we really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that presentation and filling us in. We have a recognition for you for being our speakers today.
Thank you very much.
So one of the other things that we do is we sponsor a reading program, Pine Gap Elementary School, and we donate a book in honor of you for speaking today. So if one of you would sign in front of this book, it's entitled Drama, and then we have another one, Night Owl. So I'm happy to give that to Pine Gap in your honor.
Okay.
For being here today. If there isn't anything else, we'll refer to Dick and see who he chose, which new member he chose to do the four-way test.
Yeah, I know it's kind of a jump ball between you two, but let's stand up because Mike is going to lead us in the four-way test. Mike, it's all yours.
All right. The four-way test, things we think, say, or do. First,
Is it the truth?
Second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
third,
Goodwill and better friendship.
fourth.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?